Let's talk about how much money you're gonna make in boot camp in 2023. Now I know it's the end of 2023. We're about to get a pay increase in the next month. Every year in January, Congress always proposes a military pay increase, and this year it's proposed to be 5.4%, which is a nice little pay bump for what we're getting right now. And fun fact, everybody in the military every single year, regardless of rank, gets a pay increase. This is for the Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, you name it. Some people think you don't get paid anything, which is crazy, because why would you be in boot camp for 13 weeks and not expect to get paid a single dime? Why? I don't know, but this question gets asked often enough. But we're gonna go over two things today. One, how much do you get paid by rank? And when you're in boot camp, and how much money you can expect to walk away with by the time you get to your first duty station. Let's go and hop into the topic right now. It depends on two things. What rank are you going in, and are you married or not? That's a big difference, because if you're a single E1 or a single E2, you will make less than a married E1 or a married E2, because if you're married, you rate something that's called basic allowance for housing, or BAH, and you're going to get paid substantially more money. And the Marine Corps or military in general is going to pay you additional money to have a house, to pay bills, utilities, things like that. Whereas if you're just a regular Marine who is single, again, someone that is not married, you're not going to get paid that extra housing, because the Marine Corps is going to be giving you that housing for free anyway. So let's dive into how much money you are going to be making. Right now, according to militarypaychart.com, and again, I brought a phone here just to make sure the facts, as an E1 in boot camp, and boot camp is 13 weeks, you can expect to make $1,917.63. Now that is as an E1 in the Marine Corps. So that's times 3, because you're in boot camp for about 3 months or 13 weeks. Now, as an E2, you can expect to make $2,149.22. Now that is for each month, every single month, for 3 months while you're in boot camp. So just using whole numbers, 1,900, let's go ahead and just 19, what's 19 times 3? You can expect to make $5,752.89 minimum while you're in boot camp, not including that 13th week and the other time you may spend that boot camp. That is for an E1. Now for an E2, that's gonna be $2,149.22 times 3, which is $6,447.66. So that's almost $1,000+ more by being a higher rank. Now, that's just while you're in boot camp. This is what you're gonna get paid every single month for an E1 or an E2 that is under 2 years in the military. Every 2 years, your pay increases, not including annual pay rate. Let's talk about those individuals that are married. That same E1 that's married is gonna get paid more, but again, this is all dependent on your zip code. So again, let's just say for all intents and purposes, you're on the East Coast, and East Coast boot camp is in Parris Island, South Carolina. The first thing you have to do is find out what is the zip code for Parris Island, South Carolina. What you would do is go on Google and type in BAH calculator or military pay calculator. You type in your rank and you type in your zip code. It changes based off your zip code. For instance, living in South Carolina and Beaufort's a lot cheaper than living here in San Diego, California. The cost of living is much higher here. Therefore, you will get more BAH every single month living in California than someone that is over in South. A PFC in Parris Island, South Carolina would make less than a PFC here in San Diego, BAH specifically. Now, that also is going to change once you get to your first duty station. For instance, if you're stationed at Camp Pendleton over in Oceanside, California, which is in San Diego County, you would rate San Diego County BAH. Now, if you were stationed over in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, which is in Onslow County, you would rate the BAH for that city. Again, the same rank makes the same base pay, but BAH is different. So a PFC or a private in California would make more than a PFC or a private over in North Carolina. If you talk about going overseas, another video, talking about other pays and whatnot, it changes as well. So again, guys, to wrap this up, a PFC in boot camp is gonna make this, a private in boot camp is gonna make that, and at the end of the day, that's what you can expect to take home. Quick little side note, while you're in boot camp, yes, the Marine Corps gives you your uniforms, your boots, your socks, your clothing, the whole 9. It's not free.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I wish Uncle Sam was that generous, but I'm being honest, he's not. You have to pay for that in some way, shape, or form. So the total take home after all your uniforms are paid for and things like that, it's not going to be that 6,000 and some change or that 5,000 and change. It's probably going to be about 3,500 and some change and about 4,500 and some change, give or take, maybe a little bit more, or so on and so forth. I haven't been in boot camp in a long time. You're going to walk away with a nice little chunk of money, and you're going to continue to get paid every 1st and 15th going forward for the rest of your career. Whether that's 4 years, 40 years, and beyond, guys. Hey guys, hope that makes sense. Hope you guys learned a lot from this video. I'm gonna put the military pay chart calculator in the description below. You guys can look at that, type in your zip code, and see what you guys can be expected to get paid while you're in boot camp and at your first duty station, whether that's East Coast or West Coast. It can give you a good idea of what you can expect going forward and how to read a pay chart as well.